Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Elements of Success. I'm your host, Talhah Jarrad. We are talking about certain emotions that might overcome the person's ability to achieve success. Remember, we're talking about how to maximize our chances to get the maximum in this life, to improve, to enhance ourselves, to achieve the maximum in this life and also the maximum in the hereafter. And the more we understand ourselves, the more we understand the emotions that might drag us down, the negative emotions specifically, and the more that we know how to handle them, the better we can be in terms of our ability to control our destiny. Now, we talk today about very challenging emotion that some people have, and it's called procrastination. Procrastination is really can be defined as postponing things or postponement of or delaying of the required work for no reason. Procrastination means doing nothing. Procrastination means taking no action. Procrastination is really very severe. For example, you delay taking an action in certain aspect of your life and just postpone it and postpone it and postpone it for no reason. This is very dangerous. Let's say, for example, you hear something good in this program and you get excited about it and you say, oh, this is something that I could use, I could do, I could change myself. And then instead of taking action, you start thinking of, okay, I'm going to do this effective the new year. I'm probably going to do this early next month, or so on and so forth. You just delay taking an action for no reason. And this is really what procrastination is all about. It's just delaying the actions and not taking an action immediately for no reason. So you postpone and postpone and postpone, and then what happens later on, the person builds in himself this habit, so he becomes a procrastinator. Now, the problem with procrastination is that it works its way in our life gradually. That procrastination comes over a period of time, and then we become procrastinators, and we get used to this procrastination to the point where we become so attached to it and it becomes part of our life. Now, people become procrastinators for several reasons because, as you know, these emotions, these negative emotions that we might have, they don't come from nowhere. They come because of certain things that allow them to develop in our system, in our life, in our ability to deal with life. So one of the reasons is that you see people, one of the reasons that people procrastinate is that they have the excuse of there is not enough time, so I'm going to postpone them. I don't have time for this, so they just postpone doing things, and they just delay and delay and delay things, and they don't take an action. You see, the Prophet warned us of this thing. He said, seize 5 before 5. Seize 5 before 5. He said, seize your youth before you become old. Seize your health before you become ill. Seize your richness or wealth before you become poor. Seize the opportunity of your free time or spare time before you get busy. And seize your life before your death. This gives us really a motivation to start seizing the time, the opportunities, rather than just waiting, procrastinating, and trying to find some excuse for ourselves. Other people actually related to this topic. Some people, they have another excuse which you might have heard a lot, and you might even use it sometimes, is that, well, I work best under pressure. I really can exceed my limits when I have a lot of things to do. This is very dangerous. Again, you don't know what's going to happen to you. Now, if you pile up things and you end up with so many things to do, you never know what's going to happen in the future. You might get sick, you might get busy with other important things, so you cannot do what's at hand. So if you delay and postpone things and you don't take an action, there is no guarantee that you're going to have time in the future to do so, because you don't guarantee your health, you don't guarantee your status, you don't guarantee your abilities, you don't guarantee a lot of things. So when you just procrastinate and postpone and delay things and you don't take an action on them, you just pile things up. And this is really a wrong excuse, and we should not fall in this trap of having this kind of excuse that, you know, I work best under pressure, and I do things best if I have a lot of things at hand, so I can do a lot of things at once. It might work for some time. You know, we're not denying this. Some people might really work better under certain pressure, but if you keep doing this all the time, that's going to create a lot of anxiety and stress in your life, and you will become extremely centered around such things that you don't have time to really pay attention for your life. Another thing that causes people to procrastinate is the confusion between productivity and activity. You know, some people might be busy all the time. They are really busy with things to do, but they are not productive. And there is a difference between productivity, which means that you achieve things and you get things out of your schedule, and especially the important ones, compared to just activity, getting busy, just doing things because you just have things to do. This is different. And a lot of people fall in this trap. They say, well, I'm already busy, so I'm going to put this thing aside. I'm going to delay it. And what they do is that they delay the important things later, and they just keep themselves busy with the less important or the easy things. And, well, because it's easy. So they start with it. And this is another way of escaping. And this is another thing that people use to procrastinate, is that I'm going to try to clear up the things that are easy, so I can have free time to do the more important things, and I can focus. No, I need to focus, so I have to make sure that I get all these things cleared out, which is the little things, the minor, tiny things, and then I can focus on the more important things. But this is not true. What happens is that if you keep yourself busy on the little things, you will never have time for the major things. You see, there is a limitation. We live in a finite world. There is limitation for our time, our abilities, our skills, our everything. There is a limit for all of these things. And if you do not utilize the time to do the major things, the more important things, if you do not utilize the time to achieve the things that are of value, you will always get busy with things that are of less value, and you will never get what you want really in life, because there is always something to do. And as they say in the saying that the person dies and he never finishes what he has at hand. We always have things to do today and tomorrow and after tomorrow. But knowing how to deal with the most important things and dealing with them, this is the problem with procrastination. Procrastinators just postpone things, especially the most important one, the major one, like planning their life, like setting goals, like having their values cleared out, their mission, their vision, putting together their most important items, and working hard at them and staying at the course till they get them done. This is where the problem is. They just procrastinate and they delay these things, and they just get busy with the little things and just keep spending the time on these minor, tiny things. Another reason why people also procrastinate and delay doing the most important things is their companionship. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have bad companions. They have people who are surrounding them that are procrastinators. So they get used to this and they learn from them, and they become procrastinators because they learn from them. This is what the Prophet even told us, that the person will be the same religion as his best friend. The person will be the same religion as his best friend. So watch out for whom you take as a best friend. This is what the Prophet is saying to us. Yes, it's true, because if your best friend or close people to you are procrastinators, you will become a procrastinator. Same thing for any other emotion that we've talked about. If your close people are, let's say, always afraid, if they are, if they have no mission, no values, no things, you will get used to such things and you will become like them. So as the Prophet said, the person will have the same religion as his best friend or his close friends. So watch out for who you take as best friend. This is very important. A lot of people really do not pay attention to this, and they get along with people and say, oh, he has been my friend for years and years. Yes, but what kind of value has been adding to you, this kind of friend? And probably this friend is bringing you down. Probably this friend is really causing you to lose opportunities, because he's always filling your head with the negative ideas instead of good ideas. So watch out, listen to the Prophet, what he says. Another reason for procrastination is the weakness of will and laziness. You know, some people really got used to have low level of will. They got used to laziness, so they are always lazy all the time, and they adjusted themselves with this, so they reached to a point where they enjoy it. They are no longer achiever, and they have got themselves in this situation where they have enjoyed being lazy and being procrastinator. And this is something that the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to ask Allah to help him. He said, we all know probably this prayer that he used to say, Oh Allah, protect me from disability and from laziness. He used to ask Allah for this in a daily basis. And actually, as a matter of fact, he taught this to one of the companions who he saw in the mosque, and he saw him with a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, and he taught him to do this, to ask Allah every day in the morning and night, to say, oh Allah, I seek your protection from laziness and inability, because this is really what the procrastinators end up with, is laziness and inability and probably disability of doing things. And another thing is that sometimes people do not even realize the impact of procrastination. So they got used to this procrastination, and nobody has really clarified to them the danger of being a procrastinator and the impact on their life. So they lived their life with this procrastination, and they, as I said, they got used to it, and it became part of their system and part of their life. And as a matter of fact, the people surrounding them also, they live the same thing. So there is nothing wrong. And this is the problem. If we don't pay attention, as I said, to these negative emotions, it might really drag us down and take us away from the path of success and make us end up with nothing in life. And probably even more scary is what is even scary than this thing is really we might lose, God forbid, in the hereafter. So the person might lose both ways, loses in this life and loses in the hereafter. Some people really dislike change, and this is one of the reasons procrastination. To some people, they do not, as we said before, highly achieving people, they really like to try things. They try to do certain things, to take risk. But if somebody dislikes the change and somebody does not really force himself to do the things that is required to be done, he will not achieve. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, that the one who control his desires and does against his lust and desires will have heaven as a result for him. It's really, this is how it should be. If you have to work upon yourself, and you have to take an action, and then accordingly you achieve your results in this life and in the hereafter. This is the danger of procrastination. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who really listen and immediately apply and take us away from the path of procrastinators. We'll continue next time. Thank you for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.